Hey guys, I am Jim Clark 1. This is the next stage of my upgrade to my sim setup. This room looked completely different a few days ago. I've completely rebuilt my whole setup around this new next level racing FGT Pro, and I've upgraded to a PC and ultra wide monitor, and this video shows how it has all come together. Some of you might have seen my last sim room upgrade video. You'd remember I made a few changes: new blinds, new lighting, a little bit of a tidy up to try and make it a little bit more like a sim room than an office. And I was happy with it. It looked pretty nice with the new lights and everything. But it soon became a messy office again around it all, and I knew another change was needed. So, upgrade number 2, the rig. I opted for the FGT Pro by Next Level Racing, and the first thing to do was pack up the old Playseat Challenge. As you can see, folds up pretty easily. And then it was on to making some room for it. So the FGT Pro comes in at 166 centimeters long and 54.2 centimeters wide. And I also needed about 122 centimeters for my ultra wide monitor. Now, the Playseat Challenge used to sit at my desk, and another reason I wanted a new rig was so I could get my desk back. So, before any of that could happen, I actually had to make some room for it. As you can see here, I'm struggling with this bookcase. One of the biggest reasons I went for the FGT Pro was I wanted a rig that could give me a Formula-style seating position, but also the option of a GT racing position at 2. And I don't think a full aluminium profile rig was going to fit in this room with the future plans I have to develop it. So the FGT Pro felt like a good compromise.
Now it's time to take down the old light.
This lovely thing. So I've never taken down a light, but how hard could it be?
Replace it with this.
So this is the Govee ceiling light.
First things first, turn off the electrics.
Whoops.
Ouch.
So old light came down, I had a look at the wires inside, and all of a sudden thought I was out of my depth. More wires than I expected. But after a little bit of tinkering and figuring out what wires went where, we got the new light up. Time to test it out. Alexa, activate race mode. Alexa, activate work mode. Nice. After moving the desk around and disconnecting everything, I had a mass of cables, but finally got my desk back. Then I had to move a shelf, move a filing cabinet, and the room was ready for the new rig. Okay, so instructions are read, parts are out everywhere. Now it's time to actually build the thing. Now, I'm not going to turn this into a full build guide because there's already plenty of really good ones out there. For me, this was just more about getting it together, getting the position right, and seeing how the rig actually fitted into the room. Once the main frame started to take shape, I was really happy with how solid it was all feeling, and importantly, how much space it was actually taking up, or lack of it. So So there were definitely a few moments where I had to stop and double check the instructions, you know, make sure I'd not put something on backwards. But overall, the build was pretty straightforward and overall took me maybe about an hour and a half. One big tip though is a socket wrench really helped with the tight spaces. Okay, so the main frame was up and now it was time for the monitor mount. And this was one of the bits I was really looking forward to because I knew that with a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor on this rig, it was going to change how the whole setup looked. And it looked fantastic on the photos. So I was really looking forward to seeing this on the rig. And then came the part I was probably the most nervous about. Getting this 49-inch ultra-wide monitor out of the box and onto the rig without doing anything stupid. So, attach the mount to the monitor in the box and attach the rig mounting system. Easy does it. And then it just slots on to the rig. Tighten it up, make sure it's nice and secure, and obviously I had to have a quick sit in it and realised I'd not put the wheel on, or the pedals. So, time to put the pedals and the base onto the rig. And I'd realised I'd made a little bit of a mistake and I should have put them on before the monitor as I had to tip the rig up and get back underneath it. So, pedals attached and adjusted. Quick check. Yep, seems about right. Couple of extra screws to tighten up. Now time for the base. Time to get the SF1000 wheel on and start dialing in the position of that. And at that point, it was basically there. Frame built, wheel on, pedals set, monitor in position, PC all hooked up, and the room finally starting to look like the sim setup that I'd been planning. There was only one thing left to do. So we got F125 loaded up. I've got my second monitor for my stream software. And let's see if it all works. Load into a quick time trial. And it's at this stage I realise I have no headphones or headset set up, so I can't hear the car revs at all. And I've tried Monaco, but it looks phenomenal and it feels so stable and so good. But I quickly realised I need to sort out some audio and I cannot test it like this. Okay, so after actually spending some time in the FGT Pro, I think the biggest difference compared to my old setup, which was Playseat Challenge, which was very good, served its purpose, was just how much more solid this rig feels. The seating position is much closer to a Formula setup that I wanted with the wheel and the pedals. The pedals feel properly supported, and also having the ultra-wide monitor integrated into the rig directly in front of me just makes the whole thing feel much more immersive, and I love how neat and aesthetic the whole rig is. I could have gone for a full aluminium profile rig, but in this room I wanted something that gave me the rigidity and the formula style position to race in without completely taking over the limited space I had in this room. Because I do have more plans. I want something to go next to the rig here. So a full aluminium profile rig, although would have been even more rigid, I actually don't feel like I need the extra rigidity with how rigid and strong the FGT Pro feels. Also, now I'm on PC, it opens up the options of other sim racing experiences. So obviously now I could look at maybe iRacing or other forms of sim racing as well. And for that, I wanted a rig that could also give me a GT position as well as the Formula position that I mainly race in my league races in. And the beauty of the FGT Pro is that the seat is integrated into the rig itself. So there was no need to buy an extra seat on top of the rig. So with my new setup, there'll be plenty more coming from me. My first races in the rig and how I'm getting on with the FGT Pro, and probably a bit more of a full review of the rig itself. Probably a couple more changes to the sim room. Keep your eyes peeled for that. For now though, the setup is done. I've got absolutely no excuses to not get faster on the track, and I'm really looking forward to testing this rig and new setup out.